I just heard no one can take your place. Okay. No one can take your place. And you cannot be erased. No one can take your place and you cannot be erased, okay? That's what I'm getting. There's people that miss you. People are missing you. They're missing your presence. They're missing the conversations that you had with one another. And some of these individuals, they took your presence for granted, okay? That's what I'm getting. They took your presence for granted. You have people that took your presence for granted. There's people that want you around. There's people that miss you, okay? They miss you being in their life. They miss you being in their life. Wait, I don't want to drop my coffee cup. Okay. Let's see. What is this about? I like these little cat ears. I think they're so cute. I actually have headphones up there, but they don't have the cat ears on it. And I saw this on this app and I thought it was cute, so I put it on my head. Just funny. Okay, anyway, let me see. Strength and justice. Okay, so people appreciate your presence because you're strong. And you know how to show love, you know? You know how to show love. You show people that you are really down for them, okay? And this is why you stay on people's minds. And those who cross you, they have trouble after the fact once they realize that you're still okay after they cross you. Because you have a very strong presence, and there's individuals that know that the strength that you exude, it comes from a special place because it comes from, I wanted to say it comes from trauma, but it's more so of like it comes from you being able to recognize traumatic experiences in your life that took place, and you know how to work through them. You've learned how to work through your traumatic experiences. There was a time where you wanted to ignore them, but over time you just power through them. With the Chariot, yes. That's good. This is good. This is good stuff. This is not crazy work. This is good work. This is good works. Okay? I heard faith without works is dead. Okay? So you have this way about you that makes people want to give to you. Okay? You have people that really want to give to you. They find it necessary to protect your energy, at least the ones that really care about you. Not everyone is going to have that type of energy when it comes to you. However, the energies that I'm picking up are individuals that like will ride for you. Like they're the riders. Okay? They also feel like you're very charming. You have a charming strength. You have a charming strength. And your ways are justified, okay? Your ways are justified. I heard a domineering energy. Okay, so what I'm getting from your energy is that you do dominate your environment, but not in a negative way, not in a way of someone who's just trying to control people just for their own selfish benefit. When you enter a space, you're entering that space to improve the well-being of others, and also something about relationships. There's something here about relationships. Like you're the person that wants to see people connecting on a soul level. You don't really like to see people connecting on a surface level. It actually annoys you. You feel like annoyed by that because you know it's fake. You're someone who doesn't live a fake life. You don't live that fake lifestyle. You don't like it. You're someone who likes to have deep conversations, for who I'm speaking to. You desire to have deeper conversations. You don't want just the regular conversations. Like, it's okay. It's okay to explore. It's like exploring the mind of someone, exploring like societal perspectives. Okay, you don't like surface level talk. You'd much rather talk about deeper things of life, working towards grace. And I keep on hearing relationships. There's a lot about relationships here. Giving, okay. You want giving relationships in your life. You don't want relationships that siphon your energy because you've dealt with that enough and it's become very tiring for you, and you're trying your best to be able to discern them. Okay? There's something that feels different about this live right now. Usually I don't do lives because I get distracted, so I'm trying not to look at it when you guys talk to me. I'll look every now and again. However, there's a different energy that I feel when it comes to doing lives, and I'm being pushed to do them more often. I kept putting them off because I get distracted by the comments, but I'm going to stay focused. But there's something different about it. Okay? In a good way. It's not a bad way. I think it's that I could pick up your energy better this way in a live. But anyway, many of you have had trouble giving too much to those who they don't appreciate it. And that's the big problem. That's the problem. They don't appreciate you for what you give. But then on the other hand, you're someone who's very appreciative. Like, you appreciate. Okay? You would get confused a lot when it came to if someone really loves you or not, because people were casting illusions at a certain point. But I feel like you began to pay more attention. So the more attention you pay, the more you get clarity on a person and who they truly are. Okay? So you're working on moving towards better relationships. Many of you just want like wholeness in relationships. You don't want to be in relationships that lead you astray. They take you off balance, off track. You don't want to be in that type of relationship, or you don't desire to have those types of relationships. I think before you were more open to whoever came in, it was like fine for you. But now you feel very different about relationships. Now you work towards recognizing who people truly are according to how they present themselves to you. Okay? You also feel like people did not give you grace or show gratitude to you when you gave to them. You felt like it was kind of like a slap in the face. That's what you usually felt from people. Like it felt like they didn't give you the respect that you desired to have. Energy is too... Oh my goodness. See, I gotta... Oh, I can't do that in here. Let me see. How does this go? Okay. Okay, now I could talk because you tripping. Okay. You're learning to be more grounded within yourself. You're learning to hold back from falsehoods that people present to you. People have a tendency to present themselves a certain way to you, but they're not really that. Okay? They're not really who they present themselves to be to you. And you're moving towards completion of an error, of dealing with individuals that always come to you with a mask. There's always a mask that someone has on when it comes to you. Not I don't want to say always, because there are some people that are legit, and valid in your life, but everybody's not valid. Everybody is not valid, okay? So you have people that really respect you for who you are and how you handle yourself and how you conduct relationships, because I feel like you're kind. I feel like you're a kind person. Okay, hello, honey. I see my people now, finally, because there was a bunch of creeps in here. They was extra creepy, like they slithered from under the rocks or something. So it's nice to see your beautiful face. Okay, I can't see your face, but I know it's beautiful. But anyway, yeah, so what I'm talking about here is like relationships, because you missed, well, maybe you missed, I don't know how long you were here, Empress. But this reading is basically about there's a group of individuals or groups of individuals in your life that really love being in your presence. They love being in your energy because you are strong and your words bring justification to your environment. So you're like a tower. You cause tower moments in people's lives because you speak truth. When you speak truth, you move things. You move things out of the way, okay? You move things out of the way and make room for what is good. You make room for that which is good, okay? You have people there's some people that you haven't even met yet, right? But they want to like root for you. They're rooting for you. People that already know you, they're rooting for you. They have a love for you. They have a respect for you. And there's many more to come that you have not met yet that also ride for you like that, okay? They ride for you on that note. It's like that energy where you'll feel close-knit to these people as if they're actually family, like blood, but they're soul family. So it's a soul connection, okay? And then it starts to talk about like the opposing parties that you meet that are actually lessons, and they present themselves with a mask. So they show falsehoods. They don't show their true nature, but they always want to present themselves as if they are good for you. So it can confuse. It's meant to confuse you because it's a lesson that's supposed to be learned. Okay? And it's like, Spirit is saying that the lesson is learned. The lesson is being learned now. You could have been catching on to how people are towards you, but now it's a little different because it's potent, okay? It's like you're able to see, you're able to weigh the scales. You're able to weigh the scales much better than you were before, and it's because you began to pay attention to the patterns. You know, there's patterns that we have in our life, you know, and you're able to see the patterns now. You can see them. You can see when something is wrong and when something needs to be worked on. And you don't have a problem saying no anymore. Before it was an issue. It was difficult for you to say no. And some of you could still be trying to work through that, like that, trying to say no or having trouble saying no. But now it's to the point where even if you still do struggle with saying no, you're working on that, okay? It's like a work in progress. So I'm also seeing that many of you want to hold back from love because of the heartbreak that you experienced before. So you're very careful with yourself. You're very careful with, you could be like, people could feel like you have a wall up when you get into relationships. I was always the underdog until I realized I'm powerful and truly do. Yes. You know, a lot of people go through that. You don't have to feel bad about that. A lot of people go through people pleasing because I feel like that's just a natural stage that many of us go through. Not unless when you were brought up, you were taught not to people please. Like if you have family that's just don't really care to care and then you pick up their ways. But other than that, it's like a mechanism to assimilate to the people. It's a mechanism that I think we innately have within us that makes us want to connect to people by any means because you're trying to figure yourself out at that point. And you'll begin to feel like you have to give and please others to be accepted. And not to say that it's not good to give, because it's actually a beautiful thing to be able to give. That's a good thing. It's just that some people don't know how to appreciate what you give them, and then you end up feeling depleted and left out in the cold. That's when it becomes a problem. And that's not okay. That's not okay, because you'll begin to see a pattern within yourself. And this is what I'm seeing here. Like, you saw the pattern within yourself of trying to accommodate to the needs of others and forgetting about you. And then you're finally like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Because you have to give yourself grace before you can give anyone else grace. So if you're giving grace to others and not to yourself, you're going to feel very depleted. Your energy is going to be absolutely gone. And that's not okay, because how can you live your life and actually move towards your destined space or destined place in life if you don't have that grace that you're giving to yourself? It's sad, because people pleasing brings us to a place of, like, how can I explain what I'm thinking? People pleasing brings us to a space of literally forgetting about ourselves. Like, how are we going to forget about ourselves? And most of these people that you meet, people don't talk about destiny like that. In this space, yes. But in, like, life in general, I don't hear people talk about destiny so much. Yes, I hear purpose, but I just feel like it's convoluted. I feel like I don't even know if people really understand it. Sometimes I feel like people just want to find something to talk about so they could get, like, views. But it's real. It's not just for play. Like, this is our lives we talking about. Destiny is real. And it's aligned with our signature, how we're aligned in the planets and the stars. And I always say that because I truly believe that. I was looking at my birth chart last night, and it still surprises me. It still surprises me. And I'm actually doing what I'm meant to do according to my birth chart. Me being right here talking to you, this is why I'm so drawn to what I do when I speak to you all, because this is me. This is in my code. This is what I'm supposed to do. Okay? We are inauthentic when we people please, at least in my... Yes, that's true. You're right. We are inauthentic when we people please, because we're not aligning ourselves with our divine purpose and with our divine destiny. We're aligning ourselves with the ways of society, which are, we know those are twisted and chaotic. We already know what that is. And that's just all about capitalism all the time. So nothing is meant to lead you to yourself, because the more you are led to yourself, the less you will need externally. You won't desire much. You know, you'll understand the benefit of living as a minimalist when you are in tune with yourself. The things that matter to many you will no longer see much of a purpose for it, because it would be, it's like a mundane way of thinking. Mundane, it's a popular way to think. It's vain, but it has nothing to do with the soul and the spirit. It has nothing to do with that. And I just feel like it's lighter. Your life feels lighter when you have less to worry about. And oftentimes we tend to worry about what others think of us. And that be the other problem. When you think so much about what others think of you, you're not going to be yourself, because you're going to be like all restricted and like, I have to be straight all the time. You know, I can't curse. I can't say hot damn it. I can't say fuck that hoe. You know, you feel like you got to be like namaste all the time. You know, I'm a very peaceful person, but at the same time, we need to express ourselves how we want to. That's a part of us being true to who we truly are. When we fake and we are trying to present ourselves in a certain way to be acceptable to people who don't really care much about you, you really can't connect with who you're meant to connect to, which is your true, almost say your susu, your true soul tribe. And your true soul tribe are the ones that love you for all your quirks and your eccentric ways. Like whoever you are, however you are, your soul tribe will find you based on your signature, your code. Who are you? And when you're you, then you're gonna find a bunch of other weird, well, some people may say weird, some people may say strange, eccentric, whatever word you want to use, but different. You're gonna meet other different people that are just like you, and they could be just like you, but in a different way. Kind of like they have their own weird, you know? Maybe they're just extra playful. And, you know, I think about this sometimes, like those men that are like, men and women that are in that boss nature. I mean, we must know how to be leaders of our own life. Otherwise, our life will fall apart. However, I think about those who have a lot of responsibility all the time when it comes to their career, and how they're really deep down inside, they're playful and they want to laugh, they want to joke around, but they always got to be walking around like, what are you doing? Are you doing what you need to be doing all the time? You know, that must be very stressful when you think about it, because they feel like they have to be that in order to, I want to say in order to be respected. I feel like there's a way to present yourself where you're stern, but you don't have to like go extra hard. I feel like it's possible to do that. It's just, it's hard. I think it's challenging for so many people. Okay. So yeah, being yourself is a gift. It's a gift in this world, because in this world, you are taught to be everything else but yourself. And then people start to do all types of things that don't align with their true nature, and it aligns with society, and they get confused as hell. And then they be running with the demons. Yeah, it's true. These norms are not normal, y'all. So don't be thinking these societal norms are normal. They not normal. I'm telling you, they trying to have you out here like a robot. Okay? So they can shut you down, and turn you on when they want to. Okay, so you know how they do that, right? If you act like a robot and you just go along with whatever everybody says and does, then it's easy for you to be controlled. Because as soon as people see something on TV or something that's happening on a societal level, they're going to start talking about it. The chatter's going to get louder. And if it's something that could be like a hazard or something that people should be cautious about, people hype it up and many times make it more than what it is, and then everybody be scared. That makes people shut down, clam up, close off, not speak, be nervous, be scared, feel tension, get a headache. Now you feel sick and you're depressed. You see? It's like a downward spiral of, oh, hell nah. Okay? So when you control your energy and you're not easily turned on or turned off, then you decide how you want to react or respond to whatever it is that's happening. But otherwise, you'll be a robot where you can be turned on and turned off, and the remote is what is put in front of you. The remote is what is put in front of you. I had to make sure I said that right. You know how you have a remote and you turn on TV? If I show you something scary, like, right? Like some type of disaster or something that's happening to people that look like you or something like that, then I could like speed you up. I could slow you down like a remote. When you want to replay something, you could go replay it. And then you're going to see that happening over and over again in different people's lives. It's that robotic lifestyle. And a robot can't, well, I was about to say it can't control itself. It's not supposed to be able to control itself. So if anybody's acting robotic, that means that they don't control themselves. They're being controlled, okay? All right, now I'm going to do another reading. I said another. I'm going to do another reading. Let's see what this one is about. Because I was just talking right there. That was not a reading. I wasn't using tarot. At the center between robots and NBC. Broken souls, but they got, I don't know. it's still a soul, but it's just not activated. So it's like some people have activated souls and some people have an inactive soul. So you can tell when people have inactive souls because they be confused. They don't be knowing, they don't know who they are. That's the first thing. They don't really know what it is that they really want, you know, and they could be activated in other ways. Like they could be successful. They could even be successful. But if their soul is not activated, they'll be living a life that is not aligned with their true destiny. The destiny that is like God-given. They won't be aligned with that. They'll be trying to assimilate to the ways of those around them. That's what they're going to try to do to try to figure out themselves. I was stuttering. Sounded like static. Maybe somebody doesn't want me to talk about this. It was like, but yeah, that's what we see a lot. We see that a lot. Let's see. Okay, this is a new reading. This is a new one. Let's see. So some of you could be thinking about how to increase your income. And you want to do something that you actually desire to do. You want to do something that is in alignment with you and who you are. Okay. Something that makes you feel whole. There's something about being able to have income. I just heard revenue or revenue based on what it is that you truly want. Okay. This will make you feel complete. If you're in a position to where you're doing exactly what it is that you want to do in your life and still be able to reap the reward financially. Okay, so many of you are tired of like working and not feeling respected at your job or not feeling appreciated. Okay, it's giving like an emptiness inside of you for working for others, and you just want to work for yourself. You don't want to be working for others because you don't feel like you're being respected and appreciated. And that's your soul crying. That's what I talk about when I talk about the soul's cry. It's like, I have to do this for money. Like, I don't want to have to do this for money. Okay. Let's see. I know it is. You know, it's like one of those things where, of course, we have bills to pay. We have bills to pay. We have things that we have to do. But at the same time, if you do it on the side and you spend your free time building up whatever it is that you desire to build in order for you to do what you love and reap financial rewards from it, you continue to work and then you begin to build yourself up in such a way to where eventually what you love to do will replace your income, and then you don't have to work anymore. That's the best way to do it, but you just have to be very motivated. You need some vitamins, okay? You need some minerals because you could get tired. So you need some vitamins, you need some minerals, you drink some water, okay? We know we love water. We need to drink some water, okay? Get some fresh air, exercise. You know, exercise gives us more energy. I know it does that for me, but it does that for everyone. Okay. There's something also here about you calling the shots in your life, you taking responsibility of your life in a new way to where you are more, I heard you're more prone to success in such a way that I'm seeing here, because when you stand up for yourself and you say what you want to say and you don't restrain your I want to say your tongue, but if you don't restrain what it is that you truly want to say, but also be mindful at the same time, because there's a time and place for everything. But when you do that, you're really answering your soul's cry. Okay, when you're able to do that, you say what you want to say when you want to say it, and you're just mindful at the same time, because it's just being responsible, especially when you're a chosen one, you know, because as a chosen one, people are going to take heed to what you're saying. And if you say something that is too elusive. People could think one thing and go with what they thought, but what they thought is not exactly what you meant. So there's people that are more weak-minded than you are. So sometimes many times I should say, you want to make sure that you are being very clear with what you say, as clear as possible. You know, you're still a person who could be relaying something and you're saying it clearly, and there's still people that don't understand. But you did your part, especially if you know that you're coming from a place with good intention, okay? So this is about like partnerships. The last reading was about relationships. This is like partnerships in truth. So partnering with individuals that are aligned with your destiny. And this is the beauty of expressing yourself in such a way to where people understand what it is that you believe in and what they feel your mission is in life. They align themselves to you, or they become magnetized to you. So they'll be interested in what you have to say, because when they hear you speak, they'll see themselves in you in a way, because that shows that the soul is connecting. You know, that's a soul thing. See, that's the soul family. It's like a soul link, okay? It's familiarity when it comes to what you speak of, what you believe. It's a familiarity in the beliefs. Because when you believe in, or when it comes to your core values, your beliefs and your morals and your ethics, right? What you believe is right and what's not right, what you think is just correct and how to move in life. When you realize that you are in acquaintance with others that think on the same accord as you, that's magnetism. That's like holy. I heard holy magnetism. And it's holy because it's sacred. And this is seeing someone's code. You're seeing someone's signature. You're recognizing that they from where you from. Now, there's another side to this, because manipulators and like scammers, this is what they do. They'll talk to you casually. Oh yeah, so what do you like to do? And then you tell them, and then they'll be like, oh, I like to do that too. But they really don't. They're just trying to build a connection with you so they can scam your ass, okay? So don't get caught up in that. Like, it could happen, but at the same time, be mindful that it doesn't mean it always happens, because sometimes people can be in alignment with what you like. But scammers do that all the time, and manipulators do that. They'll ask you questions to find out what you got going on, so that they can mimic it to make you feel like you just found your best friend. Okay? So be careful with that. And if you make sure that you're in tune and you meditate and really feel how you feel around them, you'll be able to recognize if somebody is trying to do this to you. You know? Yeah, see, and then when I was thinking about the 9 to 5, like that's a lot of hours in a day. And then by the time you get home, you're tired. Then you gotta cook, you gotta clean, you gotta do this and you gotta do that, you know? But I look at it like this, because I had to learn time management myself throughout my life, because I've done a lot of things and I had to figure out how to do, you know, work and home. I had to figure that out. And over time I did, but it wasn't like easy, but I had to figure it out. And sometimes you have to sacrifice something, like sleep. Sometimes you have to sacrifice something, no matter what it is, in order to gain what it is that you truly want. So even like this, like you see right now, even though I want you to come see me on YouTube, don't get me wrong, okay? However, if you take away I don't know, an hour or two from scrolling, and you focus on that growth mindset, like growth mindset activities, like, I don't know, whatever it is that you want to get into when it comes to your destiny, you begin to do research, or you begin to figure out what tools you need in order to activate what it is that you need to get done. and you just lay out a list of what it is that you need, and you begin to accumulate these things. And the more you work towards your destined place, which you're trying to get to, the more you'll be able to see results. But you're not going to see any results if you don't make an investment. Like, you still have to make an investment on yourself when it comes to like time and your energy, and being able to sacrifice certain things that you're used to doing in order to align yourself to what you really want to do, and what, like, the position you really see yourself in. Okay, let's see what else is here. Changing your space. There's something about changing your apartment around. There's something here about changing your apartment around and needing a new look. Sometimes when you change your space, it's inspiring. Like, you know how artists, sometimes they need inspiration if they get like writer's block, or if they have a creative block. They want to go by the water or go into the forest, go into nature and walk. So being around others as well as being in nature, it creates a spark of inspiration. And I'm seeing here that many of you need that inspiration, because seeing the same thing every day over and over again, that makes you you don't feel inspired. It's like the same damn thing every day over and over again. You lose inspiration. It's easy to lose inspiration. So I know many people say that they don't deal with too many people like that. However, just going out and taking a walk, you know, you could spark up a conversation with somebody, or just thinking, allowing yourself to think, sit down and think by yourself. You can become inspired because you're giving yourself time for God to link up with you and tell you something, you know? And the God in us is really our higher self, and it's a link that we have to our subconscious mind in the etheric realm. So when you allow yourself to sit in silence and connect to the cosmos like that, you get ideas. That's where the ideas, they up there. They just waiting for somebody to catch them. That's where they are. Okay. So this is about like changing your space around, making something look different, seeing something different, not being afraid to communicate with people on a regular note, like nothing crazy. Okay, that's what I'm getting from that. All right, now I'm gonna do another reading. This is like a reading mashup. That was the second one. Okay, now this is the third one. Let's see what comes out. Let me see if I can hear a download real quick. Let me see. I heard something like, what they thought they wanted, you didn't have. What they thought they wanted, you didn't have. Let me decode that. What they thought they wanted, you didn't have. Well, first of all, what did they think they wanted? Time? Somebody thought they needed time away from you, or they felt like there was someone better for them or something like that. Yeah, someone thought, I don't know if this feels influenced. It feels like somebody had influence, like somebody was telling them, oh, I think that you can find somebody better, or it feels like influence from outside parties. That's what it feels like to me. What they thought they wanted, you didn't have. What did they think they wanted? Oh, it's almost like somebody likes karmics. Somebody thought that they wanted... It feels like somebody is tired of karmics, but they thought that they liked that. They thought that they liked it, but they realizing that they don't. It feels like influence. Someone very influenced, okay? Let me see. It could be an ex, or it could be someone that you were dealing with, not too sure about. You felt not too sure about them because it's almost like that's how they made you feel. Because they was like wishy-washy, I see, little funny style. Like, what you really talking about? What you really saying? Because I don't know what you're saying. You're saying it, but there's no action to what you say. If somebody keeps saying something and there's no action, then you can't take them seriously anymore. Because there must be action along with their words, okay? Faith without action is dead. It's like how some people pray and they keep praying, right? And then they like, why is my prayer not happening, but they're not doing nothing? A prayer is just communication. That's meditation. That's, when you put the label prayer on it, I think it kind of dilutes it. It waters it down when you say prayer. That's how I feel, because it's really communication with yourself, and it's really communication with the holy realm, the spirit realm. That's really what it is, just communication. How about we just say communication? How about we just break it down? Let's break it down a little bit, right? Okay, that's what I think. I think that, okay? Let me see. Yeah, so it's like this person thought that they wanted the fast life. They thought they wanted the fast life, but now they feel like they need to sit their ass down. They're like, well, just sit down. Because he's sitting down. This is the Four of Pentacles. Don't mind my busted cards. I just had them and I'm connected to them. As a spiritualist, other spiritualists will understand. When you read tarot, even though I don't see myself as a tarot reader, I'm a psychic medium. I just use tarot cards as a tool, and I don't really need them. If spirit tells me to use them, I use them. But if not, I don't, because I don't need them. But at the same time, you build a connection with the cards that you use. And I didn't want to throw them out. It's like, I was thinking about them because so many of them got ripped from me using them for so long. But I don't want to let them go. I felt weird about to throw them out. So I was like, I got to keep them. Let me just get some tape, you know? Let me just get some tape because they got to stay with me, okay? So someone is feeling like they made a bad choice or something. I feel like the choice was about you. They feel like they made a bad choice. They feel like they should have taken action towards you, okay? Yeah, that's what I'm getting. This person thought that they wanted like a karmic. And I feel like that's just because they were karmic. So they liked the karmic energy. They gravitated towards karma because they were used to karmic situations. Even though, you know, naturally our lives are karmic cycles that we have to learn from. But what I'm getting here is that this person is realizing that they don't even want that anymore. They're recognizing what it does to them and how it separates them from their connection with God. Because when you lose that connection with the spirit realm, you lose the connection with your higher self. That connection is lost. When you lose that, that's like you lose everything. It doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter what you have in this physical. When you lose connection with your higher self and learning from the highest version of you, you lose yourself in this world. You will get lost out here in these streets, especially if you're somebody that be in the streets, like somebody that like to be going to nightclubs and strip clubs and all that, you know, because hey, that's where the demons reside. They be in there succubusing and incubusing. Succubusing and incubusing. Okay? That's where that happens. That type of magic is in there. Okay? Yeah, so it's like, okay, so there's some divine masculines and divine feminines that are waking up out of the illusion. There's an illusion that's over so many people's minds, and it's so crazy because there's so many people that are under these illusions that is like insane because they don't even know. So these individuals are it's like have you ever dreamt that you had a dream? Have you ever dreamt that you were dreaming is what I meant to say. Have you ever dreamt? I dreamt that I was dreaming, and that is weird because it's like you deep in the depths. You're deep in the depths because I had a dream that I was waking up from a dream. Okay? And I feel like this is what many people are going through. When you awaken, life is different. Everything you thought you knew will be different. Everything you thought you understood, you realize there's a lot that you don't understand. And the more you accept the fact that there is much that you don't know yet, the stronger you become within your ability to accept hidden knowledge. Once someone thinks that they know everything, they miss out because they'll reject new information. They'll just push it away. Okay? They'll push it away. Someone's tired of fighting fighting with the demons, I heard. Somebody's fighting with their demons, okay? Somebody's tired of fighting with their demons instead of learning from their demons. Someone wants to choose love. The Lovers came out. Someone wants to choose love. And the Ace of Cups. Somebody wants to choose love and they're tired of fighting with their demons. They want to win the war. They tired of losing. And it's like, I heard man down. Man down. They tired of man down. Okay? They tired. They starting to see the truth about third parties and this lifestyle. Like see, that lifestyle can be fun while it lasts. But the older you get, the more you realize how empty it is. And for some people, they can be old and still like that lifestyle. So to each his own way. But at the same time, there's no love there. There's no real love there. Love is not there. That's chaos, and that is a bunch of vessels under the influence. That's all it is. It's not real. It's an illusion. Okay? Next reading. I don't know what I'm going to call this. Maybe I should just say live readings because there's a lot going on in here. Let's see. Let's see what's next. Let's see if I hear a download. Am I getting a download? All of these cards just came out in reverse and I have all the cards in the upright. So I have the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Hermit in reverse. Oh, this is just somebody that don't want to do. This is someone refusing to improve themselves. You could be dealing with someone who, or have dealt with someone who refuses to adhere to a better way of life because they're comfortable with what they've been doing. They find with toxicity, they want to have it. And some people do. Some people think it's fun, okay? Some people want to have it, and that, hey, it is what it is. Because everybody has their own journey. Now, if you're someone who is not in alignment with that, you want to make sure that you don't allow yourself to connect to someone like this because you won't be happy here with this person. Because you're not in alignment. You're not equally yoked. So, this is feeling like an energy where someone is... It's like you're doing all the work in the relationship and someone else is not. Okay? You're doing everything and someone else is not. And you're finally letting go of that. You recognize what you bring to the relationship. And what you bring is much more than what the other person is bringing. So you want to walk away from it. It's not benefiting you in any way. It's just a headache, is what I see. So, there's many of you that are focusing on building yourself up. You're focusing on building yourself up. It's almost going to hit an hour. So once it hits an hour in 10 minutes, I've been on here for an hour. You're focusing on building yourself up and connecting with individuals that are passionate as well. Okay, as passionate as you are, you tired of people that's like mediocre people that don't really have much passion. They just exist, but they don't really do much of anything. You know what you bring to the table. You always bring it. You always bring in something that's very beneficial to others. But if you're going to have someone around you, you want them to be able to bring something as well, and something that is worth living for. I just heard something that's worth living for. Okay. Okay, I heard loving the new, loving the new direction that you're going in, having an appreciation for change, an appreciation for growth, the growth mindset, growing in a new direction from what you're used to, okay? Judgment. You cast judgment on yourself and made this decision for you, and now you've changed your own life off the strength of you recognizing a problem and then fixing it. Hey, isn't that quite simple? Many people don't even do that, so congratulate yourself. You should feel very happy about what you've done because you were able to unmask the demons that portrayed to be your friends. Because demons that are within you will look like friends. They'll have you outside wilding out, tripping, and make you think that that's all the good stuff that you should be doing. But all those things just hurt you and they take you away from true happiness and true joy. So, and that's all she wrote. She spoke. I kind of feel like that's me right now. Because I'm about to end this and this came out and it's like, Mystic has told you that you are moving in a new direction because you're ready to now. Because this is all that I was talking about. And it's like, you made the decision for yourself. Nobody had to make it for you. You learned from all of these experiences that you had and you're done with the fake. And it's like in with the new. You had to do away with the fake and the demons with the masks on trying to act like they're your friends. You done with all that. Now you're moving towards individuals that have a passion in heart as you do, and they move from their passion. Now I'm not talking about sexual passion. I'm talking about holy passion. I'm talking about passion from the spirit realm. I'm talking about like, I heard the Holy Grail. Okay? I'm talking about the scroll. The scroll is unfolding the truth in your life, which is you being able to cast judgment on yourself. Forget about what others say about you. What do you say about you is what this reading is about, this last one right here. Yeah. I want to say yeah. Okay? So that's it for this message. I know with a lot of people be in and out, but I am going to save this and have it on YouTube. So, bye. See you guys later. Bye. See you later. You like my fake cat ears? I put them on because I think they're cute. I have headphones right there in front of my picture that I love so much. Y'all want to see my picture that I'm in love with? Oh my gosh, I love this picture. Oh, it's so beautiful to me. You see it? I love it. But anyway, when I first saw this picture, I was like, and you know what? It's crazy. One day, I was on my couch, right? And I was looking up at it, admiring it. Oh, you're welcome, my love. I was admiring the picture, right? And I saw a face. I have this, I don't know what, I looked it up one time. But there's something, I forget what it's called. When you can look at something and see something. But it's not there, but it's there for you. Because you have the eye to see it. This happens to me all the time. I could look at the grooves and the swirls inside of like a wood grain floor and see faces. And that's so sweet, honey. That's so sweet, honey. I'm sharing my sweetness to make sure you know where yours is at. Yeah, so I saw a face and it looked like an old man. I actually drew him. And I asked my daughter if she could see it. She's like, Ma, I don't know what you talk about. She's like, Ma, I don't know. I don't see it. And then there's like, I have curtains in my room. And one day, I was on the bed looking at the curtain. And I saw this man. He looked I don't know, he had an alien friend on his arm, and he got hit in the head, and he was, I don't know if it was blood coming out his mouth or drool, I don't know, but I drew that too, and I'll probably come on live and show you. But I noticed that I could only see it without my glasses on, and the room had to be very dim, because if the light was too bright, I wasn't able to see it anymore. And I could only see it with my naked eye. I could not see it if I put glasses on, which is weird. But yeah, but I'll show y'all that one day. It's in my book in there. But I'm gonna be back later. I think I'm gonna start to do more lives. I keep saying that, and then I do them randomly, and then I don't do them anymore. I don't know, I be doing too much. See, that's what be happening. But I love you. I'll see you in the next message. Bye.